So what's in this box, Mike?
Let's find out. Gilbert brought all kinds of new stuff down today, and each new piece says we got to get into and find out what it is. That is a funky.
Well, that looks pretty unique.
You know what a funky is? You probably do. Funkies are Angela-Gilbert Yeung's recreations of old discarded audio, let's say. People throw things away. And or we get them if they're beyond repair, and we will take out the inside and recycle them. And we've got, because Angela-Gilbert Yeung has 35 years of building high-end hi-fi electronics, we've got hundreds and hundreds of spare parts over multiple years, three, 4 decades. And the stuff's new, but there's heat sinks and there's power supplies and different things that are inside these integrated amplifiers that we can't get more of, so we have to make use of these things. And I thought, what a great idea, because Angela is such a wonderful artist. She'll take old, this is an old, I don't know what this is, it looks like an old Hitachi or something. Yeah, Hitachi. It's a Hitachi. It's a beautiful looking thing, my goodness. Anyway, this looks to be the new funky kit that Angela mentioned. And what that was is, so when we get funkies with brand new transformers and high-end line stage outputs and simple controls for both volume and input, 1, 2, 3 inputs, you end up with very direct-to-direct, point-to-point, made-from-scratch electronics that sounds like stuff worth thousands and thousands of dollars for about 1,500 Canadian this is, which is crazy priced. And the nice part is, basically and almost for free, Angela-Gilbert will sign these things, label everything that we do. Like at the back you'll see here we've got 3 inputs, 1, 2, and 3. So you could hook a phono stage into there, CD player, streamer, DAC, whatever you want. Usually 3 is enough for most people. We can make them with more if you want. They have binding posts, 5-way binding posts for left and right speaker output. We put the IEC plug in there. Generally on the less expensive amplifiers, they have those little thin power cords. This allows us to put a heavier gauge, well-drained, well-shielded power cord or none, our choice, to get these transformers to work a lot better, because this isn't the last 6 feet of hydro coming in. It's the first 6 feet included with the primary winding of the transformer. It has a big effect on sound quality and how quiet this transformer runs and how efficient it runs. So when we get all of these wonderful things in brand new parts, like I mentioned, these parts are from years and years of getting parts, but if we can't get more of the same transformer, if we have 7 or 8 of one thing, and outputs we have 10 or 20 of, and capacitors we have all kinds of new ones, we can put these things together, but we can't recreate it. Each one's one of a kind, signed, and absolutely beautiful works of art. So to get somebody to understand this, it was Angela's idea to have a kit put together so we can provide a customer with this lovely integrated amplifier. And as I mentioned, there's the blue port at the back, which is FCF. We call that Fab Cap Finute. And what that is at 35 volts, I think this is, well, between 300,000 and 400,000 microfarads of capacitance in a box, arranged in a certain manner. It's not just capacitors. They're arranged with a soft start in them and a huge amount of capacitance that hits the transformer and the output stage, giving them, filling in holes in the music, because music is resisted, impeded, filtered, and everything's fighting you. So you really need the energy of the sun. So you can have the amplifier, which sounds wonderful in its own right, and inside has about 1,000 times more than an amplifier this side would ever have. And this is like giving it the energy of the sun in addition, and you simply will connect these things through a power con. And a power con connection, I can't see where it is, but power cons click into place, and now when this thing starts, the transformer starts up, all of this is extra juice for beautiful sound, and they're beautiful to begin with. From that point in this kit, so you can see the upgrade path, and we do these upgrade paths in both power stage, and we also have it, you know about super cap, Aaron? When the super caps there, you'll see an XLR pin, and that hits the signal line board. So that's the 3 jacks. This has a board of signal path in it as well, and we can add capacitance to it and then to the output and power stage, which is the power transformer and the outputs transistors that are on the heatsink. He also has included, it looks like, these things called damping factor resistors. So we've got damping factor resistors here. This is going to bring the damping factor down to almost 1, which is nothing. And then there's one DF8, which will bring the damping factor to about under 10 or 10. And then there's a 16 that'll bring it in the 12 area. I think this might even go on some amplifiers, I have to check, down to 6 or 7, and this could be 10 or 12, 15. But the point is, if you look back at 60s and 70s and 50s amplifiers, they were all tubes. And they had usually an output transformer in front of the tube that was driving the speaker, let's say. And what that did when they had the signal is we didn't have a negative return channel, what's called a negative feedback loop. And it will try and push and pull the speaker in and out and damp or over control it, making it stroke the sine wave, in, out. So the old amplifiers used to sound smooth and loose, and big speakers didn't sound boxy. They sounded warm and full of bass. We lost that when we went to solid state. A big solid state used to use damping factor as almost like a sales tool. But what they tell you, when you win one in audio, you also lose one. So you get these big, beautiful amplifiers, and they sound tubby, boxy, boom, like bong, 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 bong. And you want it to sound warm and loose. So with these, it allows 3 different sonic changes. And what you simply do with these things is you put them, you'll see they got a banana plug on them. So like at home, there's a banana here, so this banana actually could plug into here. So say I have a speaker wire plus and minus here, I simply would remove either a plus or a minus, put this in the speaker wire's place, and then my negative would come into here, and my positive would go into here. Now we've got a damping resistor in the signal line, and we do one for each side, and that will shape the sound differently and give you the most beautiful warm sound that we used to get in the 60s and 70s that we don't get anymore. So this gives a customer enough tools with a beautiful point-to-point sounding amplifier to really learn how to play with this thing and experience $10,000 or better hi-fi sound for pennies in comparison, 1/10. So it's a wonderful kit to travel with and to hand out and lend to customers so that they can play with it. And we want them all to try it. So it's really nice that Angela made this for us. We'll be thrilled to hand this to as many people as we can and let them try it. That's what's in here. And it's a gorgeous funky. It's a tiny funky, and it's very pretty. And everything, as you know with art, because I know you have a funky at home, and you'd love the hell out of it, because you should. Every intricacy on here means something. And the more you look at it, the more fun it is. We've been looking at silly little boxes of black steel for 50 years. God knows why. It's fun to have something different.